Close your eyes for a minute, close your eyes for a second. I won't change my mind. What does getting deep now?
I hope during this video that there's nothing too upsetting, and I hope I don't upset anybody by talking about some mental health things and the need to talk out, guys, and fish together. Good evening, everybody. Hope you're well, and thank you for tuning back into my channel. So it's 17th of September and it's a wet, miserable old night here in Anglesey. So yeah, that's right, I'm on my home ground on Anglesey. Now, if you follow me on social media, you'll see that I've been on a little bit of a road trip, but I haven't done any filming on that road trip, guys. I won't lie. I just wanted some time out by myself doing some fishing, because it's really important that I don't get YouTube to become part of my life in fishing, even though it obviously is now. And I do films, or I don't know if you call them films or videos or clips or whatever you want to call them, but I don't want it to overrule my fishing, my love for fishing. The reason I started the channel, if you're new on board, is because I want to try and inspire people to get out there fishing. It's been a hard few years, in recent few years, with COVID and lockdowns and everything like that. And me personally, it affected me massively because I couldn't get out. I'm looking up because the rod's out, by the way, but I couldn't get out doing what I love to do, which is fishing and out with the dogs and country life. And it had a massive effect on my mental health. So I wanted to do something to try and inspire people to get out there fishing. So that is the reason behind me doing YouTube. Now, I was asked a question when I first originally started YouTube. Why have I now decided to do YouTube? I didn't really have a correct answer for that. I had a few different answers. Sponsorship, get recognition, and I don't know. There was always a dream to inspire people to get out there fishing. So I definitely know now that if anybody was to ask me that question again, why have you started to do YouTube? The answer is simple: it's to inspire people to get out there fishing. Now, I never ever planned that it'd go as far as it has, and I never planned to make money off the back of my YouTube. But luckily, it's making a few quid. Now, when I say it's making a few quid, it's making a few quid. It's not making me millions. I ain't going to be buying a mansion or a big lake anytime soon. But hopefully, one day, I can maybe have a bit of a fishing trip off the back of it. Who knows? Now, some people do YouTube to make fortunes and stuff like that. That's great. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. We all have to live. And if that's how you can make a living off the back of it. That's absolutely fantastic, and I support it, and I support everybody and wish everybody the best of luck. Anyway, that's a bit of a moider there, guys. A bit of an explanation, because there is some people that are new to the channel. Some people have been following right from the start. Some people are new to the channel. So yeah, that's it really. So if you're new to the channel, welcome aboard. I hope you enjoy the content. Please do subscribe, like, follow, and if you're not into all that subscribe stuff, tune in every now and again. You're more than welcome. You don't have to subscribe, and if I can teach you something or inspire you something with fishing, then happy days. And if you're one of the originals that have been on the channel from the start, thank you for your support. It means the world. Right then, so basically I'm on an Anglesey beach. It's bang on low water. Again, quickly, if you're new to the channel, I never reveal the actual marks that I'm on unless it's a popular mark. Is this a popular mark? I don't know. It's a nice mark, it's a beach mark, it's clean. I try and give enough out there so you can guess where I am, but not give it all away. It's a nice, clean, deep beach mark. Is it popular? Yeah, I suppose it is sort of popular. But the reason I'm not going to expose this mark is because I have a couple of friends that fish this mark, and they can't walk a great distance, and I just wouldn't want it. If I catch a big fish in this channel, I wouldn't want it to explode off the back of that. So I'll keep it like this and have a bit of banter with you, show you what I'm doing. So basically, if you want to see the marks, tune out now, because that ain't going to happen. Not on this one anyway. So anyway, what I've done is got one rod out there on a 3-hook flapper on size 1 hooks. Now I'm trying some new hooks at the moment that I can't actually get on with, but I'm giving them a benefit of the doubt. Now, some of you most probably watching this are going, ooh! Yes, I was very, very lucky to become a team member with Seaglow. And I do use Seaglow stuff. It's fantastic. I highly recommend it. Now, I haven't brought it up in the channel because I didn't think it was the right time to bring it up, but I think it's a good time to bring it up now. I was given the opportunity to become part of the team member at Seaglow. Now, after about 12 days of being team member, I decided to step down. There was no reason for that. There was no negativity, there was no hate, there was no horribleness, and I haven't left off the back of... I haven't burnt any bridges. In them 12 days, I met I've come to know some people that are absolutely fantastic. The whole team really are fantastic. But I decided it wasn't quite right for me, so I stepped back. Now, have I made the right decision? Time will tell, I don't know. But I do recommend this stuff. It's great stuff, I still use it. But I wanted some smaller gauge, thinner hooks. Now I do tend to fish for bigger fish a lot, but I haven't done much of it recently. But I wanted some smaller gauge hooks, so I'm trying some different hooks tonight. Yeah, so anyway, like I say, I've stepped back from Seaglow. Still recommend it, still support them, and I still buy their stuff now and again. But yeah, I didn't want people that are tuning into the channel thinking that you have to be sponsored or you have to be a team member to get out there fishing, because that's not what it's about. You can get out there fishing with a budget of budget stuff. And yeah, okay, I'm a big believer, a good reel, if you've got a good reel, then you know, that's the mechanics. A rod, you can work with a 10-pound rod. Thought I had a bite then. You can work with a 10-pound rod, or you can work with a 1,000-pound rod. But a good reel is important. I do believe a good reel is important. But on that note, it's in my box. Give me a moment. I've been using this reel here. Now, when I say a good reel, do I mean you have to go and spend £200–300 on a reel? No, not at all. I've been using this reel, which I'll be using tonight. It's got a really solid power handle on it. It winds on, so it's very well built. Screws on, very well built. It's got a really nice power handle. I'm not sponsored by these or anything, guys, but I'm just putting an example out there. That there is a Jarvis Walker. Yeah. Now a lot of you are going, oh, it's using cheap crap. I've got a reel down there that's 150 quid. But this reel here is a £50 budget. It's a Jarvis Walker and it's a tactical. It's got a power handle on it. It's the 6000 model. And I tell you what, watch this, there's no wobble in it. It's an absolutely fantastic reel. Now, I haven't had massive fish on it. I've had double heads of doggies, brought them up a 20-foot wall off the end, the Holyhead breakwater. It works, it's great. So you don't have to have the most expensive stuff. It's nice to have it. And let's be honest, guys, we all buy what we can afford. That isn't to catch more fish. Yes, okay, you'll get more distance if you've got more of an expensive rod, thinner line, etc. But we all buy nice stuff because we all like to show off. Let's be honest. Why do we take pictures of our fish? To show off. Why do we buy an expensive rod and take a picture of it? To show off. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing at all wrong with that. we're you know, we're human at the end of the day. Now, I follow lots of social media groups. I see lots of negativity about the people keeping certain amount of fish, people doing this, people doing that. There's no need for that negativity. If you don't like what you see, basically scroll on. It's as simple as that. Yes, sometimes I might pipe up and say something that I shouldn't say, or, you know, I'm a big believer that social media is a very poisonous thing, and in the wrong way can be very upsetting. You've got to remember, you don't know who you're talking to on the other side. They could have mental health problems, they could be having a bad day, a bad week, a bad month, and, you know, just try and be polite, or even scroll past. It's as simple as that. Now, I'm no angel. I don't walk around with a halo over my head and all that. I'm no angel. You know, sometimes I say things and afterwards I think, what do you say that for? There was no need for that. Sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm wrong. But, you know, guys, let's try and enjoy fishing together as a community. And if you don't like what the other guy's doing, or the other lady, or whoever is doing, scroll past, leave them to it. You know, at the end of the day, we all go fishing to enjoy it. So I think I've had a good moider, a good chit chat there, and not all my channels are like this. If you're new and you're thinking, God, this guy does nothing but talk blab, not all my channels are like that. Anyway, so I've got one rod out and a 3-hook flapper on the small hooks that I'm using. What I've done is, now I always show what baits I've got with me. Just before coming, I've been and dug a load of fresh, lovely fresh blow lug in there, as well as a couple of ragworm that were in the blow lug, in the blow lug beds. Lovely juicy ragworm. I was very lucky as well to find 2 nice peeler crab, so they'll be going out. So I got some blow lug, ragworm and peeler crab. I've got hermit crab, which are in a bag. They've come out the freezer, but I've got the hermit crab. I'll take the rubbish away. Remember to take your rubbish away, guys. Whatever you carry down, put it in the bin. Most car parks these days have a bin. The hermit crab, one of my favourites. I've got some fresh mackerel that I caught yesterday. A couple of fresh mackerel, I think there's 6 in there. In the bottom of my freezer, I found some smelly squid that I've been in and out the freezer loads of times. Not sure what I got in this one. Got a bit more crab, and I've got a spider crab peeler as well. So it's 17th of September, and yeah, winter's on the way, guys. Now, winter's on the way. I keep banging on, cod season's coming, cod season's coming. But that's not the only thing that I wanted to mention. With winter coming on the way, the seas are changing. Now, you get cloudier water, which means fishing can be a little bit better in the day. But other than that, also, the seas are changing, so you can have storms miles out to sea, which will be causing massive ground swells. Seas are changing, they're not summer seas, they're not as warm as they would be in mid-June. So, you know, you need to carry a little bit more extra gear with you. You need to think, is it a storm 20 miles away? Is it a storm? Because that will affect where you're fishing. The seas are changing, they're coming into the winter seas. My favourite time of year, because you get lots of table fish during the winter months. What do I mean by table fish? You get good flounders, big bass, codlin, coalies, whiting, plenty of table fish through the winter months, and I will bring plenty of that on video as well. Anyway, the camera's been telling me that I've been rolling for 14 minutes and I haven't shown you a fish. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flick it off. I'm going to set up my other rod, so I'll be fishing 2 rods, 2 different styles of fishing. On one rod throughout the night, on the flooding tide, I'm going to be fishing fish baits on a pulley rig as far as I can throw them most of the time, and then I'll drop them a bit shorter if I'm not getting anything. I'll switch it up out a bit, but one rod will be aimed with fish baits throughout the night, and then the other rod will be aimed with fresh worm, fresh crab, well, a couple of fresh crab, and hermit crab, spider crab, just mixing it up to see if I can find some fish. And again, I'll be chucking that one at distance as far as I can, which isn't a million miles from me, and again dropping it in a bit closer, moving it about. The rain's coming down, it's a miserable night, Sunday night. I do have work in the morning, but high water is just after midnight. I'm going to try and stick it out if I don't get too tired, and if I don't, I'll bring you back anyway to say tra. But anyway, basically I'm going to turn off. I've gone on enough. I hope I'm not getting on people's nerves talking too much, but I've got one rod out. It's nothing happening. It's obviously been out there for just over 15 minutes now, so I'll change the bait on that one. I'll set the other rod and hopefully bring you back with some fish. Then I like to go around my line a few times just to hold that into place and bring that top hook out the opposite way to the bottom hook. Now, don't ask me why. I know a lot of people like to do it so the two hooks are facing the same way, but I like to do it the opposite way. Just my preference. Could be wrong, could be right. It's worked for me in the past. Hopefully it'll work for me tonight. So yeah, just nice, simple, quick baiting demonstration. And I've literally just got off the phone with my good friend Barry, which has been in some of my other videos, and he's actually going to come down and join me, so hopefully between us we can get you a fish or two. So I've just thrown that bait out now that I showed you me baiting up there, and then I've brought that rod in. I haven't even put the rod together yet because obviously I've been talking a lot. Don't know if you can see, but these are the hooks I was telling you about. They're a 1/0 thin wire gauge. Very strong, not very strong, sorry, very sharp, but yeah, I don't know, I'm not having much joy with them at the moment. I did catch a black bream on them over the weekend, so they do work. Oh, and I think I had one of my bass on them as well. So over the weekend I had black bream, bass, loads of pollock, wrasse. I fished the Cardigan Bay. If you go on my social media, on my Instagram, which is Tommy Joe Gone Fishing, you can have a look on there. I put some pictures on there. Now, as I mentioned a minute ago, well, it was quite a while ago really, but a minute ago on film, my good friend Barry has phoned and he's going to join me, so he's on his way. So there's a little bit of company, which is nice to have. I do tend to fish a lot alone, but recently I have been fishing with company. Now, it's quite a hard thing to talk about on film really, but you hear so many people say talk out loud and that. Mental health is a massive thing for me. And I know the mental health card is thrown out there a lot for excuses of days off work, etc. But it's something I'm a massive believer in, and I find fishing to be one of the key things really for my mental health, because I love to fish. I love to be alone on the beach or with good company on the beach or on the rocks. So yeah, I'm a big believer in mental health, and if anybody is struggling, please do talk to somebody. And I know it's not easy. I found it hard the first time, and believe it or not, it's easier to talk to a complete stranger than somebody you know. So yeah, it's just a pointer really that I find really important, and fishing being a massive saver when it comes to mental health. It's just completely stress free, isn't it? And when you catch a fish it helps too. yeah, it's really important, guys. But what I'm going to do, well, I have got something in mind. Actually, I was going to give too much away then, but I'm not going to go into that just yet until planning comes into place. But I'm going to put a tiny strip of mackerel, a tiny piece of mackerel on the bottom of this one. I might be rabbiting on a lot in this video, guys, like I said, and it's not my intention to bore people, even though I am maybe. But my last video I done with another YouTuber, which I'll let you actually go on there and have a look if you want to see who that was with. But give him a look as well and see what he does. Does it all different to what I do. And I didn't really have a chance to have a chat with everybody that follows the page and stuff. Anyway, I promise now I'll try not to bring you back to screen unless I got a fish. I'm going to get my camera out the rain. It's absolutely chucking buckets. Well guys, I said I'd bring you back when I had a fish. The first fish comes in the shape of a bass. Not the biggest bass by a mile. Little tiny little schoolie on a 3-hook flapper. No further than 20 yards out from the side. So there we go. First fish, schoolie bass. I'll get it unhooked and get it back safely and as quick as I possibly can. Filming will become a little bit easier when my cameraman Barry gets here. So there we are. Quick another look at it. Oh, tiny school bass about to go back. That little bass has now gone back and was taken on blow lug on them little hooks that I was showing you a little bit ago in the video. What I'm doing, because they're not massive blow lug, I dug them when the first hour of the tide dropping tonight, so I wasn't really getting to the proper place. But I got enough for a session, so I'm sticking 2 on there at a time. Only little baits. And what I'll do is I'll show you how I bait up my blow lug. Now you see a lot of people, so let me see this. So there's the tail of the worm. There's the head of the worm. You see a lot of people put them head first. I don't. I put them tail on first. So the head of the worm is by the point of the hook. Like that. Now the reason I do that is 2 reasons. One, all the juicy stuff is in the head of the worm. So I take it that's where the fish is going to go for first. Oomph, direct to the hook. And 2, the tail of the worm's got like sand, gritty sand in it, so it just holds it on the hook a little bit better. Little tip there for you, eh? I find it definitely works better when you're fishing for codling to put them on that way around. Now I have seen other people do it. It's not my, you know, it's not something I invented, but it's something that I do anyway. To be fair, I've only ever seen one other person do it, to be fair. But yeah, I put them on the wrong way round, if you like. Tail first, not head first. And like I say, it's just because all the juices is then by the point of the hook. Just like, can you see that? I don't bloody know. Just like that, see, it's all in there. Beautiful. Anyway, get this one back out. Barry shouldn't be long. There's somebody in the car park now, so Barry shouldn't be long. Then I'll have a cameraman or somebody catching more fish than me, but it's fish for the filming. Yeah, the rain has eased off a little bit now. Tide started flooding tidy. Hopefully it'll come up the beach a bit more. Some of you will recognise the mark from certain things I'm saying, doing, whatever. Please, you know, don't think I'm trying to be awkward with anybody by not... Is that better? Can you see me? Yeah, don't think I'm trying to be awkward with anybody by saying that I'm not giving the mark away. a local Anglesey beach. I do give plenty of bits in there. It's deep, and you know, you'll work it out, I'm sure. And if I've said anything or saying anything that's offending anybody, I do apologise. It's not intended to. I'm just trying to explain a few situations in the best that I can and put some footage together. So anyway, get this bait out and see if we get some bigger fish. So my second fish of the night comes in the shape of a Welsh dogfish. Absolute pain in the arse of a fish. Yeah, little doggy, which I'll return now. I haven't actually caught a doggy for a while, which I don't mind that. I don't want to catch them unless I'm in a competition, which I don't do many of them, but they're all welcome then. But yeah, second fish, doggy. Barry's just turned up, so we might see some proper fish now, eh? Well guys, since the camera was last on, I've had quite a few doggies, and Barry's had the doggy. Then on the 3-hook flapper that's just been out now, it's been out for a while, and then I just had a massive bang 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 slack liner on it. Well, this little pouting, let's just take it off the hook, this little pouting has been out there for ages. I'd seen a few little rattles but hadn't noticed. But anyway, it looks, it's dead now, but it looks like something's grabbed hold of it. So maybe that's been on there, and the little tiny hooks, and a big bass has come along and grabbed that, which I seen the bite and results I've reeled that in. So I'll put that out for bait in a minute on a bit of a bigger hook. But it definitely looks like it's been in something's gob. Don't know if you can see and notice it off that, but yeah, something's had to go at it. Anyway, the rain's coming down. We've had a few doggies each. The rain's coming down, and yeah, there's a few bites. Tide's come to the top of this beach a bit more now, so we don't have to walk down as far to the water's edge, which is quite nice. I'm going to bait this one back up with small bits of worm and just keep it and chucking at it. So yeah, a few doggies, little pouting there, and something definitely got hold of that pouting. So I'll stick it out there on a bigger hook in a minute. Anyway, let's see if we can get something a bit more exciting, guys, and yeah, hopefully get some fish. Oh, and by the way, I don't think anything much of these hooks. I'm not going to name the make of these hooks, but I'm not a fan of them. I'll use them tonight, but I don't think I'll be using them again. Might be right for flounders and that, but nah, not for me, not for me. Well guys, it's now 11:10, and it's coming slowly towards the top of the tide, and it's absolutely chucking it down. As you can see, I'm sat underneath the beach shelter. Absolute fantastic bit of kit, these. Brilliant. I purchased this one last year, and it's the Big Lou, I think it's called. Absolute fantastic. Well worth it. I bought this one second hand. They're a little bit pricey for this type to buy brand new. A bit pricey for me anyway. But I tell you what, guys, absolutely fantastic. Do you know when you're fishing this sort of venue, you just sat out of the weather. You're only going out for your casting and to deal with fish. A live bite would be nice now. There's been nothing but a few doggies really. Small bass, I forgot I'd had the small bass at the start. The pouting, but there's been nothing more, nothing exciting. Yeah, it's a wet, miserable Sunday night. I'm going to give it another hour to the top of the tide, then I'm going to wrap it up, make my way back to the van, and home for a shower because I've got work in the morning. But I'd just like to thank everybody that's tuning in and following the channel. It definitely doesn't go without a miss, and I appreciate it. And like I say, guys, get out there fishing. That's the important thing, getting out there fishing. And off the back of these videos, if I can inspire you to get out there fishing, then that's great. Do you know what I mean? Absolutely fantastic. yeah, let's have another hour anyway, and hopefully me or Barry will get a fish of some decent size. Or yeah, there's a good bite there on the right hand rod. Then that was a good bite. Zoom in. I'm not really going out there until I hear that ratchet or something exciting. But there was a bit of a pull round then on that right hand rod. Looked like another doggy bite, to be honest. The left hand rod's having a little nibble now. Suppose I'm going to have to go and sort them out now. If there's a fish on them, I'll bring you back, eh? Well, there it is, look. Tiny little pouting, which I'll get back now. But that's what was on the one rod, that tiny little pouting there. Get that back, and I'll check the other rod. I've not said nothing for a minute there. Can you hear that rain, man? I think winter's arrived, guys. It's absolute chucking buckets. It's not nice now. Not nice at all. Horrible, 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 horrible. I'm going to have one more cast on each rod. If I don't get any fish, then next time you see me, I'll be back in the van. Well guys, I'm back in the van. It's a wet, miserable old night out there tonight. Woo! I'm so glad to be getting out of this wet gear, I gotta be honest. Absolutely drenched. Oh. Look at this upgrade here, guys. If you've been part of my channel for a while, then you will realise that I do some mad adventures. Sleeping rough, if you like, in the back of an old Rover. Well, I feel like a millionaire. I've upgraded to this cracking van. I'm very lucky to get onto this through a very good friend, and I feel like I now have a palace to get changed in the back of in this wet, horrible weather. I can actually stand up full height in the van. It's absolutely fantastic. I am going to be converting it into like a day van, camper van type thing for my fishing travels, but we'll talk a bit more about that next time. So I'm out of that wet gear. It hasn't been a prolific fishing night. We've had some doggies, had some pouting, and some good time spent with a friend. I haven't seen Barry for a couple of weeks, just through work and different adventures and etc. But yeah, it's been good to have a catch up. It's been good to get out. It's been good to do a little bit for the channel, and I thank you for tuning in, guys. It's really much appreciated. A chocolate bar for the drive home. So until next time, guys, keep safe, keep fishing, keep chasing them dreams.